Look at sports, Rolling Sports. I'm Lou Mandeville.
It's the worldwide sound of ON Radio. ON Radio. ON Radio. ON Radio.
Rhode Island is entering the next part of the phased reopening that has been created by Governor Gina Raimondo's administration in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Starting today, the social gathering limit goes up to 15. All state beaches can reopen. So can fitness centers and other personal care services. Restaurants can allow indoor dining, and all, of course, with restrictions. Places of worship reopen this weekend. The state casinos are back open a week from today. Also allowed in Phase 2, office work and youth sports. Visits to nursing homes are still a no-go. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker is criticizing the criminals who turned the police brutality protests into violence and looting in Boston. Baker says the criminal acts last night distract from the powerful message sent by the peaceful protests of the death of George Floyd during the day. The governor says Floyd's death at the hands of Minneapolis police was a horrible tragedy, and however, he says those who are using the protests for property destruction and looting are just plain criminals and cowards. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker is criticizing the criminals who turned the police brutality protests into violence and looting in Boston. Baker says the criminal acts last night distract from the powerful message sent by the peaceful protests of the death of George Floyd during the day. The governor says Floyd's death at the hands of Minneapolis police was a horrible tragedy, and however, he says those who are using the protests for property destruction and looting are just plain criminals and cowards. Rhode Island is entering the next part of the phased reopening that has been created by Governor Gina Raimondo's administration in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Starting today, the social gathering limit goes up to 15. All state beaches can reopen. So can fitness centers and other personal care services, restaurants.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email at joe@onesocketradio.com. And now let's join the Coffee Ann panel on ON 1240, WOON One Socket Radio.
Yes, and a good morning to you. It is time for Coffee Ann on ON AM and FM. My name is Joe Callahan. I'm sitting behind the controls. How about that? Are you impressed, Charlie?
I am impressed to see you live and unrehearsed.
Unrehearsed. I'm in Technicolor.
Absolutely, live and unrehearsed. And Romeo got a haircut. How did you do that?
He stayed in Massachusetts.
You know if you know the right people. Good morning, Joe.
Yeah, good morning, Romeo.
Morning, Charlie.
I'm still waiting.
How you doing?
Where you got your
I'm
haircut?
doing fine, Romeo.
In Uxbridge.
In Uxbridge, there you go. They're open in Massachusetts,
In fact,
Charlie.
I was the first first customer. He opened a week ago today, Memorial Day. When I came back from Coffee Inn last Monday, I drove by and I saw the
the swirling pole.
And the door was open.
Wow.
And I had no cash on me because so I drove home very slowly and got some money. Came back about 10 minutes later and I was still the only customer he had.
Wow.
Because I thought they were supposed to take reservations.
This guy, anyway, gave me my haircut, and before I left, it took about 20 minutes or so. So it must have been about 4 or 5 people in the shop. So I got there just in time. I hit the jackpot.
Well, I got to say one thing. I didn't realize you were so distinguished gray. My God.
It's actually...
Talk about a distinguished gray. I'm trying to get gray like that.
Well, when you get a little older, maybe. Actually, the word is extinguished. That's how I feel sometimes. Well, welcome back, Joe.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Our listeners never knew. Well, they didn't realize.
Oh, we told them.
But they didn't realize that you weren't here. It didn't seem like you were away on the radio.
We had a remote Joe Callahan.
First time I see Joe.
10 weeks. Yeah.
Where is he? Where's Joe?
First time I see him since maybe around New Year's.
Well,
that's right.
I haven't seen him since last
year.
October.
And here it is, June 1st. Wow.
Right.
What happened?
People
don't
were
know.
saying, like, where's Waldo? We were saying, where's Joe?
Yeah. Where's Joe?
I'm right over here.
Yeah.
All right. Our first segment sponsor of the Coffee Ann program is Windermere Woods.
Windermere Woods.
located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people, enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Menden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
And it is Coffee Ann on ON, AM, and FM. This is Joe Callahan, along with Charlie Baldelli and Romeo Berthium. And you guys, you're it's a treat for you guys. You know why?
Why?
This is the first time that I've worn pants in 10 weeks.
Oh, I noticed that.
Romeo just checked. Because working from home, Charlie just checked. Working from home, there was no need to wear pants.
So what did you wear?
Well, shorts.
Okay.
Shorts.
Okay.
But look at those legs, Charlie.
You know what?
Charlie's.
I'm going to stay in shorts unless I go to church till October.
You can wear shorts in church.
No, I can't.
Are you
I can't do
you're one
that.
of those?
I can't do that.
Well, it's got to be really hot.
Even in Florida, right?
Yeah.
It's
You
hot.
didn't wear shorts there? Do you
Not to church.
Do you see others?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to be. This sounds bad.
Disrespectful?
But
Or?
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I see these fellas come in. They're not exactly in great shape with flip flops and shorts and, and I
Other
say,
things flipping and flopping, yeah.
Yeah, actually, would they go to a wedding like that or a funeral like that?
no.
They walk
You'd
into
be
a house of
surprised.
worship. They look like.
Well, I'm not talking wearing flip flops and a bathing suit. You know, there are your good kind of shorts,
Got it.
and sneakers or loafers. That's fine.
I can't do that.
You can't. Okay.
I got to go to church and long
You
shorts.
know, Charlie and I have something in common. I feel exactly the same way. And when we go to Florida, as you do, and we go to church, a lot of people wear the shorts, but I can't. I wear the long pants. Let me get rid of that.
I used to take my mom for years to Florida with me.
Yeah.
And one Saturday night we were going to mass, and I had shorts on. My mother had a fit. She said, "Go
Really?
back in your
And
room
change?
and put."
How old were you? 62.
Yeah, about 60. You're right. You're right on the money, Joe.
But Mom, I'm the mayor. I don't
I'm the
care.
mayor.
Oh,
You may be the mayor, but I'm your mother.
Your mother.
Go and put the little
Right,
pants
right,
on.
right,
And
right,
I always
right.
said, I'm putting one.
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't go to. No, I don't want to get into it.
All right.
All right.
No, that's
It's just a
that's up to
respectful
you.
time. It's a
Okay,
kind of
and that's
respectful
fine.
thing,
Yeah.
you know?
All right. Anyway, since I was working from home, I figured, hey, I can wear shorts.
Okay, wait a minute.
T-shirts and
How about the
shoes.
pajamas?
Yes.
You're wearing pajamas too?
All right. Here's a little personal thing into Joe's life. I don't have any.
Nobody has them.
I don't go out to the store and say, there's a package of men's pajamas.
Yeah.
I don't buy those.
You
I just wear whatever is hanging around.
When,
Running shorts, T-shirts,
Romeo
something
can
like that.
identify with this.
There
The
we
first time when we got drafted, we went into the Army barracks.
Yeah.
And the first night, you see some guys with pajamas.
Really?
They say, "What?
The drill
What the hell
sergeant
is
says-
this?"
Yeah, I know.
You never saw pajamas in an
Never saw
Army
'em again.
barracks. Never saw that."
That's pretty funny.
So you survived your marriage survived?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
That's what I was going to
Well,
say actually.
it worked out.
Yeah,
worked out well. My wife worked
Yeah.
downstairs on that computer. My daughter worked in her room on her
Oh, nice.
issued computer from the school, and I worked in another room on my laptop issued from here. So we were in 3 separate rooms. So everything worked out fine.
Okay, were you texting each other?
No, no. If we really see, we weren't that far. We'd
People
go.
do
Over,
that
we'd
now.
go over and talk to each other if we had to.
Once in a while.
You take a break once in a while, right?
Once in a while, yeah.
But that's not a bad gig working from home, is
No,
it?
like I told Charlie, best thing about working from home, Romeo, I found this out when the day's work came to an end. Bang, you're home. There's no
No drive.
commute. There's no driving.
Yeah.
You're already there. I said, this is the best part. of working from home. You're already home. And so I enjoyed that a lot. Although I had to do a lot more cooking.
Oh, you're a cook,
I found
too?
out.
I didn't know that.
Well, if I wanted to eat, if the family wanted to eat,
You're the cook.
we had to cook.
They probably took turns, you know.
Yeah, I cooked and she ordered out.
Takeout,
I'm
right?
kidding. All right.
Let's talk about takeout.
All right, let's get on to the important issues of the day. I am not happy, guys. Man, what is going on around this country
That's awful.
has got me just beside myself because, we're out here and we're protesting. No, you're not.
No, you're rioting.
You're a criminal.
You're
and
rioting,
I wanted to ask Romeo
looting.
this. Romeo, you're the historian.
In-house.
You're an in-house
I think
historian.
he's the outhouse historian.
And you taught U.S. history.
Yes, I did.
Where in the Constitution does it say you have a right to protest?
Does not.
Thank you. People
Peacefully
keep saying,
assemble, right to
that's
assemble,
right.
First Amendment.
That's different than saying I can go out and throw rocks through a window.
Or burn a building
Or
down.
burn a building down.
Oh, loot a building.
They came close to the White House last night.
I know they did.
But
Trump
scary.
had to go into the bunker.
He did that on Friday night. Yeah,
Get down wherever it is.
Yeah.
He was in there for I don't
somewhere
know.
below in the belly of the White House. They say, but
People keep saying, "Oh, I have
a
a right to do this. I have a right to protest."
They do not have a right to.
Oh, so where does it say
riot.
that?
They have a right to protest, not to riot.
Well, where does it say right to
Well,
protest?
the right to assemble.
Okay. Does
So-
that just it's the same thing? It's
That
the
could
same
be
word?
that could be interpreted as the right to protest, but they didn't have the right to riot, and nobody has that right in this country. But they become rioters when they protest sometimes, and there were some peaceful protests throughout the weekend at
in some communities,
in some communities. In fact, Boston. We don't have to go around Washington. Well, there was some serious issues going on there last night. I was watching all the networks. I was just and unbelievable.
No, your son's a firefighter in Boston.
He is.
Is he on call? Was he out? I don't know if they put out fires.
He was off on Saturday. I don't know if he was on last night, but there was a fire in Boston on Saturday morning, and 5 firefighters were injured. It had nothing to do with this. It was just one of those things.
It was another fire.
And whenever
right.
there's a fire, and I hear about it on the news, I either text him, "Are you on today?" And if he says yes, then I worry a little bit. And if he says no, then I breathe. No, as far as I know, I did not hear from him, but I'm sure they probably called in extra people on call. In fact, the thing moved into the Back Bay area last night, and that's where he is. He's right on in Back Bay.
They were looting on Boylston Street,
that's where his firehouse is.
and Beacon Street.
Yeah.
Near the Common and the State House.
Right.
I was telling my wife, of course, I go further back than you guys.
You
but
do,
I remember Mahatma Gandhi, who
Yep.
believed in
Yeah.
peaceful protest
Yes, he
and was
did.
very, very
Yeah.
effective
He
in
was.
peaceful protest.
And Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Didn't burn one
advocated
building, huh?
nonviolent.
I was really upset. There was a guy
Yeah.
looting a liquor store. He was in a motorized wheelchair, and he had 2 cases of beer on his lap. I was like,
I don't want
come
to laugh,
on.
but they're using that as an excuse to do
Right.
that. And they're angry. Of course, they're angry. And I know this thing with the guy in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
who unfortunately, some people say was murdered, and it's all going to be up to the courts to decide. But on the other hand, that's what precipitated this. That was the spark. To me, that wasn't the cause. The cause is much more deep rooted than what happened. That was just something that got it going.
Some
I don't know if you
mayors
agree
said
with that. Yeah.
It's not the murder of
Yeah.
whatever. I don't
George
remember
Floyd.
his name.
George
Floyd.
George Floyd.
Floyd, right, correct. Very unfortunate that happened. But something else would have precipitated it. It was just ready.
You believe it's outside agitators?
There are definitely some outside. Yeah,
Because the mayor of Minneapolis said 80%, and then she redacted that, and then she said, "Oh, it was really 20%." She got some bad
you mean
information.
the mayor of Minneapolis?
Mayor of Minneapolis said these people are coming into Minneapolis. 80% of them are from out of state.
I thought he was a.
And then she said, "No, it was more closer to 20."
Okay. Yeah.
And the mayor of Boston said from last night's rioting,
Marty Walsh.
he said those people were from out of state. I don't know where they're getting.
There are
information.
some outside agitators coming in, absolutely, and they're aggravating other people. And they were even. I was watching a CNN reporter, and he was actually gagging from the pepper spray and everything else that they threw at him. And he even got hit by a rubber bullet. As he was reporting, you could tell. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was really uttered an obscenity right on the air. And frankly, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But he was getting whacked. Plus, they get right in there too. You know, they get right there. I mean, they want to report it and they want to, but it was very, very unsafe. And like Joe, I'm not only angry, but I'm afraid for this country. This country is really
because
literally.
I don't know why these protests are taking place in Atlanta, in Denver,
all over
in Fargo, North Dakota, and California when this event happened in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to explain it to my daughter, you know, why this is going on. And I said, well, the protesting is because those people are upset. The people that are looting, I go, they're just doing it to get free stuff. And these people that are running out of the Target with the 54-inch TVs don't know George Floyd at all.
Of course not.
They're just like, hey, free stuff. I can run downtown at night when it's darker, and I'm going to get free stuff, and I'm going to bring my scooter, and I'm going to get 2 cases of beer for free. I go, they don't, I even said this to it, they don't care about George Floyd or his family at all.
Yeah.
They're all in it for what's in it for me. And then if they get caught, they go, oh, I'm so angry.
That's so am I.
I'm so angry that George Floyd died.
Justice prevail, my God, but it's okay.
And it puts law enforcement between a rock and a hard place, because if they go after the rioters and those who happen, and there's a mixture of African Americans and all sorts of different nationalities and races. But if they arrest, let's say, a black looter, immediately it's racism.
No, it's racism.
And it's not fair. It's really and what do? They have to, they called in the National Guard, they called in the state police, they called in local police.
National Guard was in Boston last night.
Yes. And I don't know, it's symbolic of what's happening in the country. Right now the country is going through the coronavirus pandemic. Now this, and then of course the depression, which is resulting from this.
You talk about the stimulus checks and all of that. I was talking to a restaurant there in Loans, a very popular restaurant in this area.
Okay.
He said, I can't get my help back.
No.
They went off on unemployment compensation, and they won't come back because they're getting an additional $600.
They're making more money being unemployed.
He said, I can't get my key people back.
Why should they go back to work? From their point of view, of course. And they're using the COVID-19 as an excuse. I'm afraid to catch it. I got to.
And he was telling me several of my friends in the restaurant business have the same problem. Their key people will not come back.
Well, no, you can.
I can't blame them.
No, from their point of view, you can't. But don't you think the government overdid it by giving those $600 a week checks in addition to the unemployment compensation? Some people are making out like bandits with this. Really,
especially in states like Rhode Island and Massachusetts, where unemployment compensation is quite generous.
It is, and
not like Florida, the second stingiest state.
Why don't they shut off the $600 if we're reopening?
I guess they passed some sort of a law. This is till the end of July.
Oh, okay.
And I think eventually it'll end. But they should also, anybody who refuses to come back to work should be reported to the government.
Okay, now you're fired.
That's not going to happen, Joe.
Oh, probably not. Probably not. All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and program. We do have a message to get to. We will when we come back. This segment of the Coffee and program has been sponsored by Windermere Woods.
Windermere Woods, located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people, enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Minden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
Well, the coronavirus restrictions certainly are changing the lives of everybody. That includes the folks at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining there on Main Street in Woonsocket. Now, Chan's, of course, no longer can have the Four Seasons banquet room with the special parties and all, and they certainly can't have the egg rolls and jazz, and they can't seat you in the dining room either because of restrictions. But Chan's has something that no other Chinese restaurant in the state has. A fantastic, easy-to-get-to drive-up window right in the back off Clinton Street. Now, you know how to get the Chan's from the Clinton Street parking lot. Well, right next to that is the drive-thru, and there's a sign right on the railroad trestle. Turn left, go right up in there. At Chan's, just call 765-1900 ahead, 765-1900. Great food from Chan's.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, you know, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, you know, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Rhode Island Army National Guard. Aired by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
W-O-O-N, the crossroads of the Blackstone Valley. W-O-O-N, Woonsocket.
All right, it's Coffee and on ON Radio. This is Joe Callahan with Romeo Berthium and former Woonsocket Mayor Charlie Baldelli is here. And we just been talking about the rioting and the looting that's been going on around the country. I guess there was no looting in Providence, but they vandalized the State House.
Did they?
They
really?
spray painted it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
With some expletives and the cops and I can't breathe. That's the new thing to say. And I said, but where were the police?
Yeah.
Were they watching them do this, or did they do it really quickly and they weren't caught?
Probably.
So I don't
That'll
know.
stay on for a long time, like Rodney King's. Why can't we just get along? Rodney King, remember him?
So the question I have, one of the big questions I have, because a lot of them are walking around with signs that say "No justice, no peace." Okay. The officer was arrested.
Yes, he was.
And he's been charged with murder and manslaughter, which I didn't know you could be, but he is third-degree murder and manslaughter.
I think that.
What else? What else do you want?
I think they want the other 3 guys arrested too.
Well, okay. What do we charge them with?
Accessory.
But they didn't do anything.
They stood by.
So what?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's.
I'm being devil's advocate. That's not
that's
a crime
fine.
to not do something.
If you're a cop and one of your colleagues is
doing something wrong,
do you have some sort of a moral obligation to stop them? That's a very good question.
Well, that's a philosophical question too, but it's also not. I don't know what you charge them.
So
with.
in court, if they get charged, they'll probably be acquitted. Is what you're assuming? You're
because I don't
implying.
Well, yes, because I don't know what they're going. Well, I don't know what they're going to be arrested for.
Yeah.
And I can still remember from a kid. Remember the old TV show Barney Miller?
Of course.
Remember Barney Miller?
Yeah.
One of the detectives brought in a guy. He had arrested him, and so Barney asked, "What's he in for?" And because he didn't help me with somebody else. Yeah, but what are you charging him with? He said non-compliance. He said, but that's not a crime.
Yeah. Non-compliance.
You can't arrest someone for not doing something.
Right.
And so this is what these other they want the other 3 done with.
Yeah, I heard some people say that they're not going to stop rioting until they arrest these 3 other guys. So are they going to arrest them because of that, to stop the rioting? And
I don't think that's going to stop it.
And then once they're acquitted, if they are acquitted,
there'll be more rioting.
There'll be more rioting.
Yes.
Another reason to riot.
Yes.
They were running short on beer and television sets.
But I really, really feel bad for the business owners who are victims of this who are getting vandalized. I mean, they're just trying to make a comeback because of COVID, and now they're getting their
how can you
businesses,
burn someone's businesses
vandalized.
This is how. And did you hear about the owner of the restaurant bar in Minneapolis? He was going to open today.
Yeah.
He's a retired Minneapolis firefighter.
I did hear about that.
He took his entire life savings, bought either or built it or whatever, a bar and grill. Was going to open today. Today was going to be opening day.
Yeah.
It got burned down.
Yeah.
And the reasoning was not the reason. The thinking is we can burn this place down, and because you can hear them on the tape actually saying this. Don't worry, they have insurance. Insurance will take care of it. So let's burn it down, and they'll just recoup.
Yeah.
And he was on the news.
Yeah.
I don't have insurance. He bought it with his life savings, so he didn't go out and get a mortgage.
Right.
Then you have to get insurance like that. Now the good news to keep following this, the good news on this guy, because this is what's done nowadays, a GoFundMe account was set up for him online. It's going to $800,000. So it looks like he'll be able to rebuild his place, and maybe he'll reopen in a month or so. So that's good for him. But that's one person.
Yeah. Right.
What about everybody else?
Right.
Target has closed, I don't know how many stores in Minneapolis and other places don't open.
The Walgreens that was destroyed in, I think it was in
CVS
D.C.
too.
Yeah, was it CVS also?
There was an AutoZone that was burned in Minneapolis.
And the AFL-CIO building in Washington, they almost got St. John's Cathedral, which has been there since James Madison was president. They didn't know. They were able to save it because they came very close.
Wow.
But they were aiming for the White House. There's no doubt about it.
Probably. Let's see if we keep moving. If we start a diversion over there, they'll have to run over there and take care of that, and then we can. It's almost like war. And we'll circumvent around and come over here.
We'll do a flank move.
I doubt very much they'd be able to get close because of security, but they were definitely aiming for that. Emotions are so high, they don't care, right?
Hey, there are snipers on top of the White House.
I know. I've been in these
and really good ones.
I wouldn't even try it, but
no,
but with the emotions being so high, these people aren't thinking, hey, we're going to get the White House. We're going to get Trump, who is in his bunker. As if they'd even get close. But.
We did have a note that's been emailed into me, Joe at OneSocketRadio.com. Let's see if I can read it here. These protesters are confused and angered with rage. That's obvious, but they're missing the initial crime. 4 police officers are responsible for the death of George Floyd and are being charged with a whole truckload of crimes, and they'll pay. However, it seems that people across the country can't realize that it is these policemen who are charged and no one else. It is not others who are responsible for this murder. How can they not see this? They all should be arrested and be ashamed of being a U.S. citizen. Okay.
As I said, emotions are running high everywhere.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, and
you have to feel bad for police in general because they're all being typecast as murderers, as brutal, and then the vast majority, 90% plus, are fine, upstanding citizens. But they're being labeled as.
This is not going to bring racism closure.
It's going to make it worse.
It's going to make it worse.
Yeah, the reaction among people who are not, let's say, involved in this is going to become, as you just said, it's going to exacerbate tensions, and people are going to become more and more upset, and therefore there'll be more racism. I agree with you.
You have to look at a television, see the looting and the burning and the fire and all. You have to say, what? This is not helping racism get better.
Do you think, Joe, as a media person, as you are, that the national media is bringing all this to our living rooms a little bit too much? I mean, do you think it's giving? I know they want to be in there, they want to show us what's happening and all that, but do you think that it's like the Vietnam War? Every night you'd see a battle on national TV. What do you think of that? Do you think they're overdoing it? I mean, they have a right to do that.
I don't know if they're overdoing it because it is newsworthy, and they should show you. Okay, this is what's happening.
I mean, it is live. It's what do they call real time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some reporters have been shot at and hit.
Yeah.
And pepper sprayed.
Oh yeah.
And the police tell them to move on.
And some have been arrested.
And some have been arrested, but they've been let go as well.
Of course. And again, you can't blame. In a way, you can't blame the law enforcers. I mean, if they ask a guy to move and he just refuses to because he wants to get that shot for the folks at home.
Their subject is serve and protect. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're serving and protect.
Well, we did get a note that was written in 766-1240. Caller says the other police officers, the other 3 in Minneapolis, they'll be charged with aiding and abetting.
Okay, as opposed to excessive.
Oh, and aiding and abetting a crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of punishment does that get you? $1,000 fine? Now, they have been fired already.
Yeah,
They
I think that's the punishment right there. They'll never be able to get a job in law enforcement anywhere. I doubt.
They might if they wait. Public has a short memory.
Yeah. Oh, they could,
if they wait a year, depends on their age too. Wait a year, go to a different state, go to a small town.
Could be.
Go to like Scituate, Rhode Island. Go to Burrillville.
East Cupcake, Minnesota.
That's right.
That was a bad choice. Montana. I didn't mean Minnesota. That's not right. East Cupcake. East Cupcake, Montana.
So okay, I can agree that they'll be charged with aiding and abetting.
Yeah.
And maybe they're even found guilty, but those 3 won't serve any time. The other guy might.
Yeah, Chauvin.
Chauvin?
Derek Chauvin, right?
Yeah. You hear his other bad news he got over the weekend?
No.
His wife is divorcing him.
Is it because of this? Or,
yes.
Or were
No, they were not.
See, I didn't know that.
And because of this, she has started the proceedings. It's not like, I started it 4 weeks ago. She's starting it like now.
Well,
and if you've seen her, she is beautiful.
Yeah.
And she was Mrs. Minnesota.
Wow.
2018.
No kidding.
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
But Mr. Chauvin, former cop, he had 18 charges brought against him in
18 years
17 years, or the other way around. And most of them were dropped. But the point is, he has a history of being involved in some sort of police brutality.
Yeah,
so you would think that would be kind of a red flag for the authorities there, for his superiors.
After 18, I would think so.
Yeah. So I got a feeling, that his fellow officers who were with him wouldn't dare stop him, because apparently he strikes me as being kind of a bully, even with his own guys. And I think that's, again, who am I to judge? But I'll tell you, he's in deep trouble, and should be.
They're going to make an example of him.
Well, I'll tell you.
But if he does get prison time, and then he's in real trouble.
Yeah. How do you sleep at night if you know that you caused all of this? Even though,
I know.
As I said earlier, he's not the cause of it. I don't think. I know people are going to disagree with that. He's the spark.
Spark of
it. It would have happened anyway, sooner or later, because there's so much anger in this country. It took something like that to get things going. It's like World War I, when the Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated. That was the spark that got the war going. And I believe, but still, most people are going to say, it's because of him that we're having all this division and rioting.
So
and
this is not the last time it's going to happen, huh, Romeo?
No. How do you sleep at night?
Look at Rodney King's trials.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Right.
All in 20. Is it 20 years later? 30 years later?
Yeah, I think 20.
Okay.
Around 2000 somewhere.
And when his police officers, they were acquitted.
Yeah.
More rioting.
And that's what's going to happen.
It might.
They want
although they had film back then, this one's pretty bad with his knee on his neck for 8 minutes.
Yeah. And he had apparently stopped breathing 5 minutes into that 8-minute period. So for 3 minutes.
Wow.
That's what they say. So.
All right, we can take a break on the Coffee and program, bringing the weather forecast, which is being sponsored by CVS. Today, we are looking at, it says increasing clouds.
Beautiful.
I don't see any clouds.
It is beautiful.
High temperature today near 66. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a very slight chance of showers. And a low temperature tonight around 46. Tuesday, partly sunny, gets warmer, high near 72. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers after midnight, low 55. Wednesday, partly sunny, high near 79. Thursday, mostly sunny, and a high near 82. And currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we have 59 degrees. Get free 1 to 2 day delivery of prescriptions and store essentials from CVS. Visit them online or call your local CVS to learn more. Restrictions apply.
People ask what PACE is. Well, PACE is a different kind of health plan. There's really nothing like it. Because PACE was created to give older people with health challenges the care and support they need to keep living at home. If you have a parent who wants to remain independent and live at home, but needs help to do so, call 401-654-4176 or visit pace-ri.org and see what a difference PACE can make in both of your lives.
Outdoor dining is now being offered at River Falls Restaurant. Come and enjoy your meal with the Blackstone River in the background. You need to make a reservation in order to eat outside at River Falls, so call 401-235-9026 for reservations. And your party needs to be 5 people or less. River Falls Restaurant is ready to provide you with their great burgers, combo meals, seafood, pasta, chicken, veal, and prime rib. Come and enjoy your meal outside at River Falls Restaurant, Market Square, Woonsocket. Call for reservations today, 401-235-9026, 235-9026, River Falls Restaurant.
Did you know that in the 1960s, 92% of Americans listened to local radio every week? What do you think it is now?
I bet it's a lot less.
Would you believe that it's still 92%?
Wait, you mean more people listen to radio than TV?
Yes, more people use local radio every week than any other device.
I know I listen. I just didn't realize that everyone else does too.
92% of Americans listen every week. You are right now. Thanks.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
And this portion of the Coffee and Program is sponsored by the Call newspaper.
The Call, Woonsocket's daily hometown newspaper since 1892, is still essentially a paper for the people. Our photographs record happenings that make news, and some will have historical significance in years to come, while others are intended to entertain or inform you of current events. They illustrate life's drama, which runs the gamut of humor to tragedy and everywhere in between. We are more than a reporter of daily news. Many readers continue to look to our paper for entertainment and relaxation offered by cartoons, comics, and other lighter features offered daily. In addition, we provide you with dates, times, and places of social event happenings throughout the community. Local sports covered daily by award-winning sports staff writers. If you're not subscribing to your local daily newspaper, you should. Call us today at 767-8522. Home delivery is just a phone call away at 767-8522. We take great pride in our publication and our sincere wish to serve you, our readers, at the Call.
All right, it is Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM, and this is Joe Callahan, along with Charlie Baldelli and Romeo Berthium. So I also heard over the weekend, I don't know if this is true, but a lot of celebrities and a lot of higher up Democrats are giving money to organizations that are using the money to get the looters out of prison.
Are you kidding?
No.
Wow.
It was called the Minnesota Freedom Fund or something like that.
Really?
And even like Biden giving money to this organization to help these guys out. And I said, well, it's going to bail out these looters. I'm like,
that's not good.
That's not good at all.
No. All right, you want to move on to something good?
Yeah. Absolutely.
The SpaceX rocket went off on Saturday.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes, you must have watched it.
I did watch it.
Saturday afternoon.
That was so cool. And to watch the rocket go up, and then it separates it all, and then part of the rocket in 10 minutes came back, and they recovered it. It was on the ship.
And they'll be able to use it again.
And they're going to use it again.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow.
See, I got a little confused at first when I heard this is historic. I'm saying, yeah, but the space station's been there for years.
Right.
How are the American astronauts getting up there? They're being launched from Russia, not from the U.S. I think.
No, the one on Saturday was from.
No. This was the first one in 9 years that was launched from the U.S.
Yeah, U.S. soil.
The other astronauts who are already
there,
they have been launched from Russia. That's what I meant.
That's right.
That explained that. I was okay. Now I understand.
Okay. And plus, it was a privately owned company.
Yes, that's the history part of it,
He's
I think.
quite an inventor, this guy.
Elon Musk, yes.
He's
quite the guy.
Tesla guy?
Yes. And it was funny. They had the vehicles that brought them to the launch site.
Yeah.
They were Teslas.
Well,
why not?
It better be Teslas.
Why not?
And
well, I think that's the future of space travel. Obviously, it's going to be private companies that are going to. And when you think about how air travel developed, same thing. The Wright brothers were not sponsored by the government.
Right.
They were private, inventors and entrepreneurs, as you said, and then other companies came in and emerged as United and American, and they were all private
Remember
Enterprise.
Eastern Airlines?
I do. We used to go to Florida with Eastern.
Eastern Airline.
Yeah, the yellow, was it the Yellow Bird? Was that the one?
Think maybe
Remember the
you're
song
right.
Yellow
Not quite
Bird?
sure.
I think it was.
So I learned a lot of information.
You did.
Because I watched it like an hour before, liftoff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you always saw I called it smoke, but it wasn't smoke. It was just clouds. It was condensation that comes off the rocket.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, isn't that a problem? Well, obviously no.
Not if it's condensation.
But it's that's what it is. It's that liquid oxygen that is so cold.
Yeah.
Down to negative 340 degrees Fahrenheit
That's
that
cold.
they push it into the rocket, but once it gets into the rocket, it starts to heat up, and that's the condensation coming off the rocket. I'm like, wow,
pretty
I never realized
They
that.
showed them landing at the space station and being greeted by those that were already there.
Yeah.
Embracing one another.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't take them long to get there.
19 hours.
19 hours.
But we're fascinated by this, as we should be, especially the way you described it, where the part of the rocket came back down and they were able to retrieve it. But a lot of people don't realize or fail to realize that 51 years ago, we landed on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
51 years ago.
That long ago?
1969.
51?
51 years ago. And yet, to me, at that time, that had to be, so far, the space prize of the century, of the 20th century. But I figured when I was watching the moon landing back in 1969, that 50 years from now, we'll be watching them land on Mars and Venus, and not Venus because it's too hot, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Not quite.
we didn't quite go as far as I thought we would in 50 years, and I wonder what's going to happen with none of us here except for
in
Joe.
the next
He's
50
the
years.
young guy, but
Joe
we'll
will
be
be
here
around in
to
50
see it.
years.
But I wonder.
I don't remember the first moon landing. Sorry,
You don't remember?
I was too busy, playing with blocks and things like that.
Okay.
Doing your Lego thing?
but-
Yes, but it was funny because I watched 60 Minutes last night.
Yeah.
And it's in July.
July
that they're launching
July 20th.
the newest rover.
Yeah.
And if they don't make that spot, they have to wait another 26 months.
Right. I saw that segment.
I'm like, wow. And so they're going to send up this rover, and it's going to collect rock samples, and then leave it on the surface, and then another rocket's going to go back and get them.
Yeah.
I said, this is fascinating that this is going to be done.
There's a lot of bright people in the world, aren't there?
Are you kidding me? The robots, of course, have taken over that technology,
exploration.
and that's going to be relatively safe. I mean, instead of sending men up there for now, they'll send women. And, the robots can do it, and they're very efficient.
You know what's so cool about that segment on 60 Minutes last night? There's a guy who now has to work out of his one-bedroom apartment in California. And his job is to log in, and he drives the rover that's on Mars right now.
And doing it from his one-bedroom
Well,
apartment.
his one-bedroom apartment. That's what that's his job, is to do that. I'm like, wow, what a great job.
Now, is it because of COVID?
Yes. Normally he would be somewhere in California and surrounded by, he said, 25 other people, all with their computers and good to go. But because of COVID-19, he's doing it. Him and his dog.
Right.
He had his dog right next to him. He's like, he drives the rover on Mars.
That's amazing.
We do have a couple of notes that have been called in, and to Charlie, how old are your sons?
53 and 51.
All right. Charlie is one of a few of the living Woonsocket mayors. There's yourself, John Cummings, Susan Menard, Leo Fontaine, and Lisa. Is there another one that's still alive?
No.
That you're aware of?
This is my distinction. I'm the oldest living former mayor.
You are, okay.
And I'm the second oldest living former Grand Marshal.
All right.
The only Grand Marshal
Who's the oldest?
older than me is Bill Isle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Bill's approaching 90, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Captain Dennis just turned 65.
Captain Dennis.
Who's Dennis?
Oh, Captain Denise. I don't know.
Okay.
That's all it says. Okay.
Captain
okay. To Romeo, caller was his student for 3 days in the 11th grade. You must remember him.
3 days.
that might be Captain Dennis.
He wanted out.
Did he,
I couldn't.
Was there more than that?
No, that's it.
He only
you had
lasted
him for
3 days.
I'm sure he made a lasting impression on you, Romeo.
I passed out the syllabus, and that was it. He left. No, I don't know.
I met
this much work? Are you kidding?
Because of you, I met Richard Lapine, and he's become my dearest friend.
Richard,
he's my number one friend.
Good guy.
I met Richard. He was on a debate team, and you said, this kid's good.
Model legislature.
Yeah, and I said to him,
I think he went to Washington.
You are going to be my page at the State House.
And he was.
And we became very close friends.
Yeah, Richard's a good guy. Yeah, Lapine Financial Advisors. That's who he is. A lot of my former students did a lot better than I did. I mean, they did.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Those who can do, those who can't teach.
Teach.
Does that make sense?
Not in your case. Not in your case, Romeo.
This is a Woody Allen joke. Those who can't teach?
Well, I have my own answer to that. But
teach Jim.
Okay, well, you.
All right, okay.
I had another. I can't say it on the air because I may have some former colleagues listening, and I don't want to upset. But that's a good one.
It was always a joy visiting you in your classroom, and Martin Crowley and Ray Bacon, and addressing the students in the auditorium.
Those are the golden years, I think, of Woonsocket High School.
Yeah, I
1980s.
enjoyed that very much.
Unbelievable. We had some good times, and I miss them dearly. And my heart is still with the Woonsocket High School class of 2020 because of what's happening to them. My own granddaughter's graduating from King Philip, if she ever graduates. You know what I mean?
She'll get a diploma in the mail.
And we don't know what the ceremony is
like a
be.
stimulus check.
That basically.
Here in Woonsocket, I guess they're doing a combination of, what we were going to do earlier, along with they built a stage at the near the high school on Cass Avenue, and they're going to have one student at a time.
I haven't followed.
If you make a reservation, you can go up and get your picture taken on the stage.
Yeah, I know. It's something. You know what I like a lot though? If you ever drive by Barry Field,
that just went up.
Did you see that?
Not yet.
I saw it on Friday when I drove by.
See what?
There's a picture of every senior.
Oh, really?
On
the fence.
Oh, really?
That's a great idea.
It looks like it's about a foot by a foot for each plaque, basically.
There's 350 of them. You got to see that. It kind of reminds me, I hate to say this, of the Vietnam Wall, but they're not dead. Instead of pictures, there are names in Washington, but these are pictures. They're it's very interesting.
Back to the SpaceX for just a second.
Yes.
When are those astronauts coming back? How long are they staying there?
They usually stay for what, 2 months, 3 months?
I don't know.
I think it's about. I'm guessing.
Okay.
I think I read somewhere 2 to 3 months.
You know what I was fascinated by? The astronauts.
Yeah.
Wives are astronauts too.
Yes.
Are they? I didn't know that.
I just saw the kids. Their 4 wives are astronauts.
That's probably not a coincidence because they probably met while they were in
the program.
That's kind of.
It's like 2 doctors marrying each other, and I would think anyway. They met in medical school.
2 teachers, no?
There's a lot of that. Yeah. Not my wife. My wife's a nurse, a retired nurse.
The other cool thing on Saturday, because they would talk, this is before the liftoff went off, and they were talking to a former astronaut went up in the space shuttle, and they were able to go to a pre-recorded classroom, and they asked a question, and they asked, did they ever bring anything from home on the spacecraft to remind them of home? And they said, and the astronaut said, well, yeah, you bring pictures and of your family, and sometimes you bring a favorite shirt or something like that. He goes, but when he was 6, this particular one, Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. So he was all enthralled with the space program back when he was 6. So his 10-year-old brother, his 12-year-old brother, for his birthday, bought him about an 8-inch high Snoopy doll in a astronaut suit.
Oh.
And gave it to him for his birthday. He goes, I kept it, still have it.
And brought it with him.
Wow. Oh, really?
He goes, so there were 2 astronauts sitting right here, him and Snoopy, and he brought Snoopy out.
Wow.
Here he is. And he brought him on the space shuttle mission that he went on. He goes, I still have it.
That's amazing.
I said, that's so cool.
Right?
That's cool, but it goes to show you too that most of these guys who, like, even in the broadcast business, I'm not trying to compare, but every profession, it's in your blood. You start when you're really, really young. And, like, for example, the astronauts, like this 6-year-old kid that he was talking about.
And he stuck with it.
And so many people in this field, broadcasting, that I've talked to, all tell me that, hey, when I was 8 years old, I played radio. I made believe I was on the radio, and it's in your blood. And I think that's just an example. Teachers, for example, although I never played school, but a lot of people I know.
I know that for firefighters and police officers too.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think it proves one thing.
Politicians, Charlie?
No.
You got to grow into that, huh?
Well, look at class officers. A lot of them become elected officials in the real world. So it's pretty interesting. But in your case, no, you weren't involved in school politics when you were in high school. Okay, all right, you're an exception.
I always on the fringe. Back then, the Democratic Party was big. John Filipponi and John Skippington ran the city.
Course. Yes, they
and
did.
They had a meeting once a month.
They were the bosses, the
right,
political
if you didn't go to that meeting and you never got promoted, if you worked in the city, you never got a job. You had to come and pledge your loyalty to the Democratic Party.
It was a machine, right? Like in the big cities.
And I would work the polls, and they'd give me a roll of dimes. Listen to this. A roll of dimes, number 5 fire station on Social Street.
Sure.
And then John Filipponi said, "Here's the dimes, and there's a machine out there, telephone."
What's that? What's a telephone booth, Dad?
A pay telephone.
And he would say, "You check with the checker. If Romeo hasn't voted yet, you call headquarters and say Romeo hasn't voted yet." So
and then
they would get Romeo.
They would pick me up.
So there I was. I was a kid with a roll of dimes making phone calls.
Yeah.
No, tell people who hadn't voted yet.
Yeah, I believe that. Today,
that's the way it worked.
They wouldn't give you the dime. They kind of still do that in a way, but they use cell phones.
Yeah, I remember John Filipponi walking into the Italian Workingman Club. Who wants a job for the city, the state? Who wants to be a firefighter? Who wants to be a policeman? Who wants this? Who wants that?
They had a lot of power.
Everything.
They did.
They ran everything.
They were the bosses.
Yeah, Filipponi and Skiffington, 2 big names in politics.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In those days.
We're going to take a break here on the Coffee Ann program. This segment of Coffee Ann has been sponsored by The Call newspaper.
The Call is proud to announce a new and improved daily classified advertising program for our newspaper readers, subscribers, and advertisers. Blackstone Valley Values is a more affordable local buying and selling marketplace every day of the week. Lost and found, apartment rentals, items for sale, homes for sale or rent, and even job listings will now be even more within your reach. As always, if you have something you want to sell, call us today with your ad and it'll appear in the next day's call. Be sure to contact us, though, before the 3 p.m. deadline. Furthermore, if you're a subscriber to The Call, you'll benefit from value member discounts and possibly some free advertisements with this new program offer. The Call continues to be dedicated to you, as we have been for over 120 years. Call us today and learn more about our new classified program at 767-8503. To subscribe to The Call and become a valued member, call today, 767-8522. I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. What types of insurance do you provide?
If you come see me, Kara, I will help you review and protect the most important assets in your life. We offer protection for personal lines and business lines of insurance in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. My mother, Celeste, will help you plan for retirement and assist you with protecting your family by providing life insurance.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
Because of the coronavirus, in-store shopping has been suspended at Wright's Dairy Farm until further notice. However, milk, cream, eggs, bread, cakes, and more than 70 of your favorite bakery items are still available every day at Wright's Dairy Farm through their no-contact curbside pickup. There are now 2 ways to order your items at Wright's Dairy Farm. Have your credit card ready and call them at 401-767-3014, extension 4, 401-767-3014, extension 4, or go online to wrightsdairyfarm.com. You choose the day and time that you want to pick up your order. When you arrive to Wright's Dairy Farm, follow the signage and instructions given. Stay in your vehicle, and your order will be brought out to you. Wright's Dairy Farm is open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wright's Dairy Farm thanks you for your support and patience during this time.
Our lives have changed in many ways since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Spending more time at home has given us opportunities to organize, try new recipes, and take virtual fitness classes. We've embraced distant learning and connect with work and friends through Zoom meetings. But what about your children's mental health? Have you talked to them and asked them how they're feeling? Remember to check in with your kids. Take a walk with them, share a meal, and offer your support. Talk early, talk often, talk now.
This message sponsored by the Blackstone Valley Prevention Coalition and the Department of Behavioral Health Care, Developmental Disabilities, and Hospitals.
It's Coffee Ann on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. Hey, it's June 1st. Hey, it's June 1st. I'm out there.
June is busting out all over.
It is busting out all over. Romeo Berthium's here.
Yep.
Former mayor of the city of Woonsocket, Charlie Baldelli, is here as well. It shouldn't be 39 degrees on June 1st in the morning.
It was in Uxbridge this morning at 6:30.
A little chilly.
Unless my thermometer is off.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Woonsocket's lost. Woonsocket's lost when you moved to Uxbridge.
That's just that's the bedroom community. That's all. I spend more time here than.
Oh my God!
I know. You don't pay taxes on
Woonsocket institution, and there you
well,
go.
you know, Charlie, listen, you're going to make me feel guilty, but this might help. Whenever I travel, and not as much as I used to because I go to Florida now, but people say, when you meet people, let's say in Florida, hey, how you doing? Where are you from? Instead of saying New England, Rhode Island, I always say Woonsocket. Even though I live in, I don't say Massachusetts, I don't say Uxbridge, because I am from Woonsocket. Yeah. I just happen to move out, but I'm from. This is where I was born.
Richard Lapine says the same thing.
Yeah.
My heart is in Woonsocket. I'm living in Cumberland.
No, but really,
I'm a Woonsocket guy.
So many people from Woonsocket have moved out of Woonsocket, but most people will never forget where they came from. I hope, absolutely. And I certainly haven't. Where are you from, Joe?
Originally
is Pawtucket.
So do you say that when you're
no?
People? I'm from Rhode Island.
Tell people you're from Pawtucket.
You say
I was only there for 4 years.
Oh, okay.
And then the family moved to Cumberland.
So you could say you're from Rhode Island.
Originally from Rhode Island.
That's where you're from.
Yeah.
You use the word originally, which is
when you said, well. Yeah. So what's the mark? I graduated high school from Rhode Island.
You did.
And I graduated college from Rhode Island.
You're from Rhode Island.
I'm from Rhode Island.
You're a Rhode Islander.
Transplanted to
Well,
Massachusetts.
I tell people I sleep in a room I was born in.
You do?
House my
that's
father
amazing.
built in 1931.
Now, if you ever read the memoirs of Richard Nixon, I may have told you this a long time ago.
No.
They open with the following lines: "I was born in the house that my father built."
Right.
Those are the opening lines of Richard.
Oh yeah, well, I can say the same
memoirs.
thing.
I know.
I hope that's the only thing we have in common.
That's all. No, but you know.
You and Nixon, you mean?
Yeah, really.
Well, where are the tapes, Charlie?
I erased them.
All right. Well, in terms of protesting and things like that, they're still going to go on. In fact, I'll give you a little something. In the town that I live in now, they're going to have one on Friday.
Really?
And
and what town is that, by the way?
I don't know. No, it's Mansfield.
We know where you are.
And it's organized by a graduating senior.
Isn't that something, huh?
Yeah. Yes. She put the word out on the Mansfield Facebook page that she's doing this, and she's got permission from the police department and the superintendent of schools.
Okay.
So it's going to start at the high school, and they're going to march to the police station. This is about a third of a mile walk, by the way.
And this is a protest to what's happening in the country.
From what's happening. Yep. And so they're going to go from the high school to the to the police station. It's not a very long walk.
No,
and it's supposed to take place in the afternoon. As far as I know, it's still on for this Friday. I will not be attending.
Okay.
I don't want to go.
It's
more for the young people.
The right to peacefully assemble, First Amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's exercising her rights, and a lot of people say have been saying, "Oh yeah, we're right with you. We're going with you."
You said you don't want to go. Is it because you want to leave it up to the young people, or do you just philosophically opposed to what's going on?
Well, one, I think I'm going to be here.
Okay.
When it starts anyway.
All right.
I'm not. I wonder about all these people that can protest. Don't you have places to be? But
well, a lot of them
plus, not being black. I'm sorry, but this does not affect me that much.
Okay.
So I've got nothing to protest. I'm not happy with what the cop did, and he's been arrested. Okay.
But you're not supporting
we're moving
looting and burning.
I'm not supporting the looting and burning because I'm not getting anything out of it.
Right.
and
that's not
Can I ask a question?
No,
Can I ask a question?
I wouldn't do it anyway.
I need to ask you a question about Mansfield.
Okay.
Is the Grogan Marciano sports store still there?
It sure is, right in downtown. You can't miss it.
I used to buy all my softball equipment from.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I went there one day and I saw some guy emptying waste baskets, and the guy said, "That's Steve Grogan." I said.
He works there.
There was
the Patriots, and he's emptying
probably
waste
before your time, Joe. But there was a car dealership there, Pontiac. Remember Pontiac? They don't make them anymore. Savini Pontiac. You know Roger Savini, who owns Savini's restaurant. His uncle, his father's brother, owned a car dealership there when I was growing up.
So they're still there. Grogan and Marciano.
Grogan Marciano is still there. There's a couple of car dealerships in town.
Sure, he's probably one of the.
One's a Jeep and one's a Buick.
Okay,
I believe.
Yeah, they're still making Buicks.
Mm-hmm.
for now.
But Grogan Marciano Sports is still there, right downtown.
Yeah,
Steve Grogan still works there.
Right, I bought
Does
a
he
lot
really?
I bought a lot of equipment there. And they gave me a T-shirt.
Yeah.
With Rocky Marciano's
Now,
record.
Rocky Marciano is not from Mansfield, is he?
No, he's from Brockton.
That's what I thought. Right.
But they gave me this
Two towns over.
Marciano T-shirt, and the back had his record of every fight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I'd wear it in Florida. Guys would tap me on the... Hey, where'd you get that T-shirt?
In Mansfield.
Mansfield.
Stop for a minute. I want to tell my friend I saw that fight, you know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he's right next door to the pizza place.
That's always a good place to
You ever
be.
go in there, Joe?
Yeah, when my son was playing ball and playing hockey, we used to go in there often to get equipment.
Have you talked to Grogan?
Yes.
Yeah.
He would sometimes he'd bring the cash register.
No kidding.
Other times he'd be sweeping.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Mostly his sons ran the place,
Sure.
but Steve would be there doing stuff and
Amazing.
unloading boxes and stuff. Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, he's right over there.
And the Marciano side of that, is he
I
still
don't
there?
understand that.
That would be his son, maybe, or his grandson, maybe? Because that's a few years ago.
Yeah,
wasn't
I
it?
never asked.
50s.
But they do well enough. I mean, they're not open like all hours.
No.
They're a real like 8 to 5, and maybe 8 to 2 on Saturday. They're not open on Sundays, kind of thing. So, but they do all right. They do.
They do.
They do very good.
So, see, I have something in common with Mansfield,
That's
Massachusetts.
right across the street from the train station.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which they're rebuilding, by the way. All right, we got a few more minutes to go. Let's see, is anything else going on that happened that we need to bring up? Let's see. The Red Sox say they're going to pay their minor league players.
Yeah, $400 a week, I think.
They just say they're going to pay them for the rest of the season.
We did a story on Saturday, from the Newswire about that, and I thought I remember that number 400.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
But they released a lot of players, about 20 or so, last week.
Did they lay them off?
No, they said released.
Okay, so they won't be able to collect.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Well, they won't be able to collect from the Red Sox,
but
they're free to sign with other teams now.
Okay.
That's what that means. It means we're not paying you anymore.
Right.
But there's plenty of AAA, AA players that they want to keep around, so they'll keep paying them.
I wonder how Rocco's making out in Minnesota right now.
Well, he's got a contract, I'm sure.
No, I mean with the rioting and everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where he's from. I mean, that's where his team is. Yeah.
Or is he down in Florida because they didn't? They never started the season.
So, Joe, getting back to baseball, the minor leagues are not going to play this year, right? Basically.
Well, they haven't. There's nothing official, but I still remember a month or so ago, Governor Raimondo said no large gatherings of 50 to 100 people or more until September.
So it's over for the Port Sox.
Well, then how can you play?
What about the major league games? Will there be a baseball season this year?
I was talking to Charlie about this before we started the show today, and in my opinion, the answer is no.
Yeah,
the major league players, the owners, went to the players. They would say, "We want you to take these massive cuts in pay, starting at 50% and going higher the more you make."
Yeah.
And I said to Charlie, the players will never agree to this.
No.
And they've already said that. No, we're not agreeing to this at all. So, and I heard that a decision would have to be made by the end of this week if they wanted to start July 4th. Because it's basically a month.
I would think.
Because they want the players to have another spring training
they gotta do a spring
before they
training.
actually start
Sure,
playing, which I think is ridiculous. Just start playing. You'll get used to it after a while.
Yeah, because they're all equal at this point.
Yeah, but they want to have another spring training before they actually start in July. So if for that to happen, they would need to have an agreement by like Friday or Saturday.
So if they do start in July, the season would last to what, November maybe?
It'll just be shortened. No, the World Series would still be in like first week in November.
So first, let's say they start July 4th, which is almost halfway in the normal season. So instead of playing 160 games, they would play 80.
84
80,
is what it was. And
I think that makes sense. I think people need that. I really do. Of course, are they going to have any fans in the stands?
Well, that's part of it. No.
No.
No paying fans in the stands.
Yeah.
They would actually have. I thought this was funny because they would expand their rosters.
Yeah.
So there'd be like 40 players on a team. Well, they all can't fit in the dugout, so they'll be in the stands cheering on their team. Now, I don't know if they'll be in uniform, but that'll have to probably rotate.
And if it did happen, and there was a World Series and everything in the fall, there'd be a big asterisk next to that year.
Yeah.
Next to 2020,
this year
right?
will go down in infamy. The year
Unbelievable.
2020. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
And that's baseball. I know the NBA, they're going to start For sure, and they're going to.
They want to. They want to start in Orlando.
I guess the managers are still talking about what they want to do. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but it's going to be they're going to start.
Well, the only thing I heard is the NHL has a plan.
Okay.
They've already said, okay, season's over. Okay. We'll now start the playoffs.
Yeah.
2014 playoffs, 12 on each side.
Yeah.
And we'll start as soon as the CDC says it's safe to start playing. Mm. So they don't have a date when they're going to start, but we're ready to go.
But they're allowing more teams to participate in the playoffs than they would have normally, I think.
I don't think, not in the NHL.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's the same amount.
Okay, in the NBA.
Maybe it's the NBA.
Okay, and what about football?
I don't know, because they're talking about starting and not having fans in the stands either.